Hey, I'm Kovie and today I'm going to be showing you how I made my RWBY brooch from RWBY. First of all, I started with a template. I got the reference image from my computer and I really gently traced it over the computer screen. I don't recommend this. I would definitely use another method, maybe printing the image out, but I don't have access to a printer. So with some scissors or a craft knife, just carefully cut out each individual piece. I would keep a reference image next to you just to make sure you remember where each piece goes back. Yeah, so I cut my finger with some scissors while I was at work, so please excuse how gross my finger looks. It's all better now, it's healed lovely. So next of all, I just placed all of the individual pieces on some craft foam, and this is just half of an A4 size. You can either use spray adhesive or you can use Pritt stick. As you can see there, I totally filled with that spray adhesive and glue all of my shape over. An alternative method is to just stick the whole template on and cut it out that way. At the end, I used this method to continue making my ruby rose brooch. Again, it's just trial and error. For bigger pieces, maybe the cutting out individual bits was fine, but this really worked for me because it was quite a fiddly thing to make. As you can see, I've not used the craft knife this time because it was quite slow and I kept having to sharpen my knife, and for what it was, I didn't feel like it was very much worth the effort or the accuracy in this circumstance. This will be covered in Worbla anyways, which will kind of hide any sort of imperfections, and you can smooth the edges down really nicely. But it just depends how accurate you want to be. So now I'm going to place these pieces onto a second piece of craft foam. This is the other half of the A4, and as you can see there, I'm just using a reference. So going by the reference, just place your rose pieces onto the second piece of craft foam and maybe neaten it up a little bit if you want to. I'm just sticking them, starting from the center now and sticking them into place just to keep them nice and stable. So the glue is still a little bit tacky, so that means you can move it around. I'm just using Pritt stick for this, no hot glue or anything like that. I decided against the spray adhesive. Yeah, I would definitely recommend Pritt stick because it's very versatile to work with in this circumstance. So this is a very fiddly process, so please be patient with it. The results at the end are definitely worth it. This is the first time I've made anything like this, and it was trial and error. As you could see from the first attempt, it wasn't the best way. Please be patient with yourself. It is a very big learning curve. Cosplay is experimental. Please have fun with it. So I'm just adjusting it now just so it looks a bit more accurate. As you can see, this glue still hasn't dried, so I have a chance to move it around. Now what I'm doing is just taking a craft knife and just cutting all the way around the edges of this rose shape. Hey! Just make sure everything's down, nice and in place. Now we're going to heat up some black Worbla. So black Worbla is really great. It's very forgiving. You don't have to prime it as much. However, it doesn't really stick to itself that well, so what I'm doing is heating two pieces, and what I'm going to do is just sandwich the piece of foam into the Worbla. This is really good for testing your Worbla skills. I would definitely recommend if you were nervous to use Worbla, then this is the kind of thing that you really want to go for on your first attempt. This amount of Worbla cost £5.70 for an A4, and I got this from Coscraft. And then an A4 sheet of craft foam cost 50p. So I'm just going around in all the detail, and you can see I've gone around all of the edges just to tighten it all in. Using the back of a paintbrush as well, and that's all you really need. Just heat up the Worbla and just indent into the foam gently, and once you've found that groove, then just persist on going into that groove with the paintbrush. At first of all, you just use your fingers just to find the places. Again, let it cool down a little bit. You don't want to burn your fingers. Yeah, remember safety and just always be careful, because the worst thing you want is to burn your fingers and not be able to carry on a project. So overall, this mini project took me half an hour to do. Now that you have all of your detail put into your brooch, then you can trim the Worbla all the way around the edges, and then flip it over and sand it if you want to, or go ahead and put some Velcro on the back. And as I did, I upcycled an old badge and just super glued it on, again with some Velcro, just so I could have an alternative choice of how I want to attach my brooch. I don't have any footage of this, but for the priming of this piece, I just covered it in 3 layers of gesso, and then finally I painted it with silver acrylic paint, and then went into each of the grooves with black acrylic paint, wiping it off each time to create a sort of weathered look for it and to give it more depth and detail. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you would like to see any more mini project tutorials, please leave your suggestions below. I will try and make them. I love these mini projects. I really want to show you guys how easy it is to use cosplay materials such as Worbla and craft foam and EVA foam, anything. If I can do it, then you can do it. It means the world to me that you guys are watching my videos and supporting me. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and you can see more of my videos that I make. Thank you. Bye.